So let's start our masterclass webinar for today. So this is our masterclass webinar season 3 and webinar 3. We have been conducting various masterclass webinar from Emertxe. And we have two different types of webinar from Emertxe, guys. One is course demo webinar and the other is masterclass webinar. And course demo webinar will be taken by our team director, the leadership team, 𝐿𝐿 sir and Mubin sir. So 𝐿𝐿 sir is the director of Emertxe and Mubin sir is the technical head of Emertxe. They will be taking course demo webinar. And course demo webinar is for the people who are interested in our course, who would like to know about the trends in embedded systems or IoT, who are more likely to upskill themselves and want a clear picture. So course demo webinar is for them. And then comes our masterclass webinar, where we invite our external guest speakers who give a generic talk on the trending topics. So we have 2 seasons already completed. The videos are there in our YouTube channel. So students who are not subscribed yet can go through the videos in our YouTube channel. And season 1, we had various speakers, CP Ravikumar, Jitu Mohan, who gave talks on various topics like electric vehicle, AI, machine learning. And we had Hari Krishnan, who gave talk on Linux. And we had so many speakers. And season 2 was a workshop-based series, which was done by our technical head Mubin sir. And it was a short series because he got busy in various other things. And we had good number of audience in the season 2 as well, but we had to end it soon. And then comes our season 3, which is very special to every one of us in Emertxe, where this season is all about our alumni sharing their experience with you guys, how they got to know about Emertxe and how they enrolled to our course and how good they are doing now in their life. What is their learning? And there are some tips and tricks for you people also to progress. So I again welcome everyone to the webinar. Let's take this webinar on a lighter note, but there's also good learning for you all in this webinar. So I am Kavya from Emertxe again. I will take around 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll give you guys a brief introduction about what are we, who are we, and then I will give over to Mr. Praveen, who is our speaker for the day, and he will be taking over. In between any questions, you guys can keep it in the chat box. So every half an hour, I'll be interrupting Praveen and asking you your questions to him. He will clarify to you guys. So moving on to the next slide. So who are we? What are we currently doing? So we are an edtech company. We were established in the year 2003. And we provide placement-oriented training programs in embedded systems, IoT, and full-stack web development to an extent. So what are we doing? What problem, like being in the industry today, or as a citizen of India, what are we doing? We are mainly solving the employability factor. So we have over 3 lakh students, engineering students graduating in every year. And most of them are employed, unemployed, and in recent times the recession took place, where most of our engineering students are facing challenges in finding their jobs. So we come into the picture there. We take students and we train them on embedded systems or IoT as per their interest, and we provide them placements. We have 1,200 placement clients, which you guys will be seeing in the next further slides. And that is where we come. Like we mainly work on bridging the academia gap. When I tell academia gap, it's basically like students who are working or studying in college are purely studying theoretical knowledge. They have theoretical knowledge. They don't have practical knowledge. That is where they are lacking to get placed, right? So we come into the picture, we train them, where our 60% of the course is hands-on. So they get practical experience, which helps them to land on their dream job or core domain easily. And our second set of audience, upskilling. So there are also many students who get placed from their college but are not quite happy with their jobs. There are so many electrical engineers who get placed in software firm, again, who are not happy because their passion will be somewhere towards the core job, right? So there again we come into the picture, where professionals, working professionals, can also take up our course, go through our training programs, and we give placement assistance for them as well. So when I told we have 1,200 placement clients, all these are our placement clients. Here is a few snapshots like of our clients. We have various clients. We have like MNCs, mid-sized companies, and also startups. So we have MNCs like Qualcomm, Microchip, 𝐿𝐷, and they all come to hire our students. And trust me, guys, they have given a positive feedback about whomsoever they have hired from Emertxe. And there we are inviting our alumni students to give a talk, because they are like, they whosoever hired them are really doing good as of now. So we have MNCs like this, and we also have mid-sized companies and startups, and each company, whether it's MNC or mid-size or startup, your learning graphs will be to another extent here. Every company has its own learning. Here we have again LDRA. And coming back to this webinar, why do we host this webinar? What is the benefits do we gain, or you guys gain, attending this webinar? So as you guys see, it's mainly M&M. One is mentoring and motivation. So as you guys see, in this webinars, we invite guest speakers. And it is not something like a strict webinar where they give the talk, something like a TED talk and go on, right? So where they here the speakers come on a lighter note, they share their experience, they give you guys motivation. While giving, they're telling their experience, they're nothing but they're motivating you guys to also, for you also to do good in your career, right? And they're also mentoring you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, so that you can also do very good in life like how they are right now. So guys, let's all stay towards the end of the webinar, stay motivated, and also implement the practices or tips and tricks that they are giving us. And this is nothing but they are mentoring you guys. They're just telling you, okay, you follow this, this will be easy for you, and this is a good trick for you which you can apply. Do good. That is all why we host this webinar. Again, I also told bridging academia gap, mentoring and motivation has been our main goals, and in the bridging the academia gap. So many of you will also know about our quiz winners. We keep publishing in our Instagram after every masterclass webinar. So here is the snapshot of our previous masterclass webinar quiz winners. Previous masterclass webinar was given by our alumni again, Praneeth Michael, on the topic how to become an embedded engineer, right? So we also hosted a quiz, and these people stayed till the end of the webinar. They collected the coupon code which we announced during the webinar. They entered the correct coupon code and also got all the answers right. So if you also want to be the quiz winner, stay till end of the webinar, enter the coupon code. It's not only about the quiz here. You should also understand why we are hosting, what is the speaker telling, and what is your takeaway from this webinar. All those feedbacks also we'll be collecting, so it is a great help for you guys. It is like very much beneficial for you guys to stay till the end of the webinar. Okay, and as you see, we have selected these quiz winners, so you can also be one among these people. In the next webinar, I can also tell, see, people who attended the previous webinar, they attended the quiz and won. So for all that, you should stay tuned till end of the webinar. And we also give the participation certificate. Here is a snapshot of the sample certificate. So guys, please stay till end of the webinar. We have a tracking system in place. You can't just escape from it. We have a team also working on this. So only guys who are staying till end of the webinar will receive this certificate. We will be mentioning your name, the topic, duration, and the date. Okay. And coming to today's webinar. Today's webinar is excelling in C programming interviews and accelerating your career. And our speaker is Praveen Mathur. And let me give you a small introduction about him. So I'm delighted to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Praveen Mathur, a proud alumni of Emertxe. He completed our offline embedded systems course in the year 2017 and was successfully placed at Path Partner. Praveen is currently a software engineer in Netradyne, being a wealth of experience in multimedia, audio technologies, and cutting-edge solutions for global clients like Qualcomm and Facebook. Committed to making a difference, he is now a key player in developing AI-driven products at Netradine with a focus on enhancing road safety. Beyond his skills, he is an enthusiastic traveler and songwriter. So we take immense pride in Pravin's journey from Emertxe to his current position, showcasing the impact of our embedded systems course. We welcome you, Pravin, and I will hand over the webinar to you now. You can start presenting, Pravin. So as informed, I will also be asking questions in the between, like we'll take breaks so that the questions and that is also being answered by you, and we'll make this an interactive session, Pravin.
Sure, Kavya. Yeah, so we can start.
Yeah, let me make you as a presenter.
You audible?
Yeah,
sure,
yeah, you're audible.
Go.
Just a minute. Pravin, can you just? Yeah, your screen is visible.
Okay.
Over to you, Pravin. Now I'll go off the camera. I will be there every half an hour. I'll come back with the questions that our audience asks.
Sure, Kavya. Yeah. So thanks, Kavya. This is a great initiative from Emertxe. This is very good for freshers who wanted to know a little bit about the industry, what's happening. And also it's a great opportunity for us, like me, who wanted to share some of the experience and also connect with people.
A pleasure, Pravin.
This is great. So welcome everybody. Yeah, so good evening, and I'll just start sharing my screen. Just give me a feedback whether you are able to see my screen and everything looking fine.
Yes, Pravin, we are able to see your screen.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much once again, Emertxe and 𝐿𝐿 sir, for this opportunity. And this entire session is purely derived from my experience and the way I have seen the industry and the way I got experienced. This is solely based on my experience, and opinions might change from person to person. So with this disclaimer, I just wanted to start today's topic. So excelling in C programming interview and accelerating your career. So mostly in today's session, I wanted to cover these are the topics. One thing I just wanted to give a glimpse on what is my career and how it was, and how it was at different point of time, and what are ups and downs, everything in between. So that I just wanted to share with you. And after that one, I just wanted to start with where I was few years back and what was running in my mind, and what were the confusions. Maybe most of the people, most of the freshers will be facing those issues today. So I just wanted to discuss on those things. After that one, we'll jump into cracking C programming into everything about what should be the preparation in initial days, and how you should prepare every day, and how should be your preparation just 1 week before, and what should be the process it involves, and what should be the perspective, what you are really preparing for, and what should be your mindset. Everything we just cover it, how much it is possible. And I just have added a little bit code questions and also conceptual things, just to make this session a little bit interactive. So just feel free. So just I wanted to introduce myself, Pravin S. Matar. I'm basically from Belgium and completed my graduation in Jain College of Engineering. So basically, I am not from so great background. I am from Tier 2 city and Tier 2 college, Kannada medium regional background. So why I'm telling, because you can feel free, because whatever you are experiencing and whatever running in your mind, I was there once upon a time. So I have even numbered the slides with left side of your corner. You just stop me, or if you have any doubts in between, we can go back to slides and we can have a discussion, right? So let's start then. So I completed my graduation in 2016 as soon as I entered 7th sem. Actually in graduation I was very good. I used to get concepts very well and my grades were also good. So I was hoping to get one good company in any one of core companies. I'm basically from electronics and communication background. So I started attending a few interviews. Mostly my college, not so great companies were coming. So I had to travel back to off-campus, Belgaum to Mysore or Bangalore, even to Hubli, just to give the placements. So I was not able to good because the skills and the questions whatever we're asking was I was not able to answer. I was struggling to crack even the first round of the interview. That was how it is. So that time 𝐿𝐾𝐜 was in talk. So I started with the 𝐿𝐾𝐜 course and I completed that one in my 8th sem. And I was luckily able to crack HP. And from my college, Cisco, both were on networking domain on this IT profile and all. So salary was also decent, not so great. So so I was very much confused and I was not getting any opportunity. So I have to get one job. So only one thing was running in my mind is to get a job. So once I get a job, I was very happy. There was like little bit gap. After that one, my mind started running whether it's a good profile or not, and lot of questions. So I cracked one more 𝐶spider interview where I can get a free course. So I just joined the 𝐶spider. Most of you might have heard. That is a very good institute for testing and all. So it was very good. I joined there and it was 1.5 months and I got the opportunity to attend the Nokia interview. So I attended the interview and interview went very well. That was my first interview and it got cracked the second or third round, technical round. So then again I started thinking. So within a 1 month, I was not having that much of confidence to go and work. That was one of the problem. And second thing, I was not so confident about going to manual testing profile and all. So a lot of confusions when I was a fresher. So in my family, there is nobody who was mentoring like completed a BE or any graduation. So I have to go back and ask many people how it is going to be. And whenever I go and ask many people, that confusion becomes much more. So that is how it was. So a lot of things were running in my mind. So I got introduced to this embedded domain and Emertxe by one of my friend. When I heard this one, I was not so much convinced because I already went through a lot. So I don't wanted to add much more confusion to whatever I was having. But I still was not confident to go and continue with whatever I had in hand. So one fine day, I just attended. I came to Emertxe Institute, and that day, Master was there. That was very lucky for me because I was not knowing Master is founder of Emertxe. So I thought he might be some business guy or something, and I spent an hour discussing with him, shooting him a lot of questions, and while discussing with him, after a discussion, I got to know what actually I was facing, and problem which was running through mind, because my problem was to get one very good career, and I should be confident enough to go and work. So that was the whole problem for me. So that is where my skill set were not matching and I was not confident. So when I discussed with Master, I got convinced that whatever Emertxe is doing, that is the same problem what they are trying to solve. So I was very happy and I just left whatever. I even not seen whether I got those offers and all. So I just left them and I joined Emertxe. I can tell today, after this many years, that was the life turning point for my career, joining Emertxe. So in Emertxe, it was very great for me because the environment, the people around me, it was very competitive and positive environment, and mentorship, especially 𝐿𝐾𝐜 sir and Mobin sir and Bizu. So it was very good for me. And I was also part of Power Track, which was, I don't know whether it is there today or not in Emertxe. So they used to select some people and those people have to complete the training and then only they can attend, but they have to put more effort, they have to complete more projects and more assignments. So that is how it was. So I waited, and it was very good for me. So after completing 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿, I got placed from 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿 to Path Partner Technologies. So Path Partner Technology is a pioneer in multimedia domain. So I was part of audio team, where that was a new challenges, right? In 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿 you will get skilled about basic things, but when you get into any core company, so that company will be particularly working on something. So you have to go and learn that one. For me, it was audio domain and multimedia. What are the concepts and what is the tech? What are the different frameworks and Dolby, DTS, different technologies get involved there. So I was fortunate to get those challenges, and not only technical, also non-technical, right? As I told, coming from village background, so it was a bit difficult for me to cope up with communication, and how even written verbal communication was lacking. So somewhere I had those challenges, and I had to come up with solutions. So that is how it was, and I was lucky enough to work for different customers there, like Qualcomm, Facebook, Anam, and also I worked on all the 3 OSs, RTOS, Linux, and Android. So it was a very good add-on to my career. And if you clearly understand, so one point of time I was so much confused, and I got skilled in 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿, and in Path Partner I got skilled and confident, right? So because I faced a lot of challenges and problems. So always what I understood with my experience, if you're facing more and more problem, then you are at very good path, and you just need to tackle them, and you just need to move on. So after that one, in 2020, I got this opportunity with 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿 Technologies, which was a startup. That time, like people count was around 100 or something, which includes all CFOs, IT support, everything across the world. So I just had to take this challenge, especially in 2020, where Corona time is, where the market is also not so good, and I got married also. So I took this challenge. I had other offers also, but I just wanted to go and explore how the startup culture will be there, and I wanted to learn more. So that was all running in my mind. I took the decision unconsciously, but if I go back and check what was running in my mind, because that kind of environment where the market is not stable, going to startup is somewhere it's not good. So so I was confident that is what I can feel. So that is what I am trying to tell. If your basics are strong, and at some point of time, even if you have to take a difficult decision also, it is going to be easy for you, because you are somewhere confident about your skill set, right? So 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿 is a startup, as I told. I just wanted to give you a glimpse about a startup, how it works and all. So in startup, it starts from the requirement. You have to understand what is the requirement. You have to understand how it can fit as a solution into your system, and you have to do a lot of POCs, come up with test apps to prove whether it will work or not. If that is working, then you have to come up with a design, document, development, and anyway you have to come up with a different tech if it is required, and it has to go to field, and you have to solve all the field issues. There can be much more critical issues also. So everything will be running, and some point of time you will be taking one new feature, and you will be working on that one for the design or any POC. Meantime, you might need to work on some critical bug which is coming from the field. So that will be like in and out. So you will start from inceptions to execution. You are on your own. One good thing about startup is you will be having handful of people, and all the people will be so much skilled. You will have a lot of things to learn from each and everybody. That is how it is. So so 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿, when I joined, it was a very less people, as I told, but today it grown to over 600 people and spread it across the different countries and different verticals. So this is all about me, and today I'm working as senior software engineer in 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐿 Technologies, handling entire software solution for a product line from inceptions to execution. And I'm happy to share I filed my first international patent, real-time object detection from decompressed image. So that is one good thing. Like you will get exposed to different challenges, new problems, and when you will tackle them, you will be very happy and you will be very confident. So for me, Netradyne was very much turning point, because when I entered here, I added a different features which was very much critical and needed for a product. But I got an opportunity to start working on an entire new product line from scratch. That is taking the requirement and understanding the requirement, and how it can fit as a solution, coming up with a new services, and porting if any code is required. And it is not only technical, even non-technical part also, how the certificates will work, how the cloud will work. So I just wanted to give a little bit on Netradyne. It is an IoT product, so how the cloud things will work, right? So even how the tie-ups will work between the companies, a lot of things was a learning for me. Yeah, so this is all about me. So as I told, Netradyne is a pioneer in fleet safety products. So we have a cameras, we have a products where so you can see these devices, right, just in front of you. Like this is two cameras, which is a smaller one, and the bigger one is with the 4 cameras. So basically it will be kept at the windshield of your car. And so what it is going to do is, it is going to capture all frames. So there will be one camera which will be facing exactly outward, and all the camera frames it will be consuming, and it will be seeing whether is there any side violation, or is there any speed violation, or lane crossing is happening, or anything, whatever it is coming in front of a driver, it will be seeing exactly. And one camera which will be facing exactly to the driver, and it will be continuously consuming the frame, and seeing whether the driver is drowsy, or whether he's wearing a seat belt, or talking to phone, or distracted, right? So even like it will be consuming the sensor data like GPS, IMU, accelerometer, gyrometer, and it will try to detect any variations, like hard brake is applied, or is there any hard accelerated, right? Even like hard turn is happening, or high G alerts. So basically what it will do is, it will try to analyze the real-time data from all the sensors, and it will try to generate events. So if any issue is happening, it will generate alert, and that alert is going to upload to cloud. So anybody wanted to go back and check what is the driver doing and how he is performing, and is there anything they can take action item for that one, like teaching him, or assessing him. So all those can be an application for that one, like giving a driver score or something, right? So basically improving the driver habit, and also making the road safe. So that is all it will do. So in this slide you can see a couple of alerts, like even this image, right? The driver is actually talking to phone, right? So it will just detect he's talking to phone. Also it will play a audio, like don't do this one, right? So to name them, these are different alerts, like distracted driving, following distance, whether you are going very close to the vehicle, high G, seat belt. Yeah, so these are the different alerts. So this is again one more glimpse how it looks. So actually once everything get uploaded to cloud, a lot of things will happen, annotation, and it will try to match the boxes, right? So basically this is how it looks like in the IDMS page also, right? Yeah. So you have any questions so far? Hello, Kavya.
Yes, Praveen.
So
Hello.
any questions from students?
No, Praveen, I think they are still listening. So you can carry on. If there is question, I'll interrupt you and I'll ask you, Praveen.
Sure. Yeah. So let's start from the beginning, where I was few years back, and what was running in my mind. So as I told, there was a lot of confusion in my mind, what I should do and what I should not do. whether should I go for embedded domain or whether should I go for Emertxe. So a lot of questions. Just to start with, why the bridge course is required. So this is a question which my mom asked me, because after 4 years of graduation, putting all that money, do you really still need to go for any courses or something and spend that amount of time and struggle? So I just wanted to take this as a question and wanted to answer this, because you just think about it. Any company who is working from 5 or 10 years, so when anybody it is hiring, there will be expectation. There will be grooming session, definitely like 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. But after that one, any company or any team want you to contribute towards the project, and they want you to do something for the company, right? So going from a fresher background, if you understand, for me itself, right, when I joined like few years back on the multimedia what it was and the multimedia today, it's completely different. It got evolved into many segments, and the frameworks got evolved. Many plugins came into picture, many frameworks came, many technologies came, a lot of products came into market. So this is how it is. Any field you take, it is going at a very high pace, and day by day, the gap between a curriculum and the industry is becoming more and more, because our curriculum is never going to change in that pace, right? Any industry, the way it is changing, it cannot match that one. Because of that reason, definitely there is a need for an bridge course, because to match the skills and to cope up with the industry expectation, definitely it is needed. I wanted to cover a little bit more how Emertxe is solving this one in my next slides, and why embedded domain. So this was another question for me, why embedded domain. First thing, I was having a passion, because if I go back and check what are the projects I took when I was in BE, and how I understood the concept, especially around electronics and communication background. So what I understood is somewhere I had that passion. And second thing, opportunities. And today embedded domain got evolved into multiple branches like IoT and AI/ML driven. A lot of products are coming into market. So everything again comes under embedded domain, right? And why Emertxe? So this was one more question which I just wanted to touch in my next slide. So definitely curriculum. So Emertxe is very unique in its curriculum, because it is very much structured. I was very much afraid with this pink and reddish screen. This Red Hat and Ubuntu screen will come, right? So until I come to Emertxe, I never touched that screen. But today, even in my personal laptop and also wherever I go work, I only have a Ubuntu. I don't have Windows. So that is how it was. When I started with Linux, I was not afraid, because the course is very well structured and very smooth. You won't feel that hurdle as a fresher. You start learning the concept, as and when you complete 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, skill sets added to your profile. Unknowingly, unconsciously, that is how you will grow in Emertxe. And it is industry driven. Whatever they are teaching and whatever they are coming up with the new products, it is completely industry driven. They are doing a lot of research, what I guess, and this is one of the best thing about Emertxe. They understand the problem very well, what exactly needed, what is running in fresher mind, and what exactly needed for the industry, and more hands-on. So anywhere you go and start working, right? So everything will start from your contribution, what you're contributing towards the project. Even though you might know a lot of technologies and you know conceptually what is going to happen, what's not going to happen, but until you go and code and do contribute, you won't get that confident. So in Emertxe, we'll start with the hands-on. That is where you will get more confident and you will be more uh, skilled in coding. And career readiness. So as I told, any company, right? So they want you to come and contribute towards the team and towards the goal. So they want you to meet the deadlines. So if you go any company, so there will be a lot of things to learn for you. Say for example, I come to a multimedia domain, so I have to learn audio, how encoder, how decoder will work, how the transform or any framework will work, how the plugins will work. So basically, if you go and start uh, understanding the different technologies, you have to be very much skilled, and you should be strong enough to go and code. If your basic coding skills are not so great, then all of your concentration will be on coding rather than understanding or learning the new technologies, right? So that is where it will give you confidence that your skill set will be matching to the industry. And assignments and the projects, anybody who will blindly go and do assignments every day and take care of his project, and definitely he is going to crack one interview for sure. And professionalism, so this is more important. As in, when you are in Emertxe, you start embedding to a professionalism. Like what does it mean? Like coming at sharp time, doing homework on the same day, doing assignments on the same day, be punctual, right? Discipline, right? So this is what you can start, and that is how the even the product is also designed, right? And opportunities, as I told, I was struggling to get an opportunity when I was in graduation. I had to travel just for an interview from Belgaum to Bangalore, and I will not having sleep. A lot of things will be happening, and even that company is also not so great, and sometimes the profiles won't be so great. So getting into an embedded core domain, and to a competitive package, so definitely it is a great thing, a great opportunity, which Emertxe is giving to an fresher and thriving career. So it is not about cracking the interview. Even after a few, like so many years, somewhere this skill set is going to give you more confidence. Today, after these many years, I have worked with many people and many teams. Always I have differentiated myself because of the way I assess the problem, and the way I look into the solution, and I try to embed some process while solving the solution. That is how I'm able to differentiate myself while working with others. So you will get a thriving career. That is how it is. And coming to mistakes, definitely I did some mistakes when I was in Emertxe. So one thing I regret is not transitioning from a student to a professional mindset. So after completing a BE and completing this couple of course, so I was like bit I could have done more professional way of doing the assignment, and I could have been more better there. That is what I feel. And second thing, not completing the entire course. So somewhere I could have completed my entire course, because that was got covered for me, especially the last part, Beagle board, and where they will touch little bit on Acto. So in the initial days of my career, I started with Acto. So somehow I got covered, but whatever Emertxe is trying to cover, starting from the Linux, after that C programming, data structure, and Linux internals, and microcontroller, and Beagle board with little bit of Acto. All these are the things which are going to help you wherever, whichever field you go. Even after so many years of experience also, these are the things which are going to help you for sure. So somewhere I could have completed the entire course. So that is one thing I could have done better. So coming to the interview preparation part. So this is where we are going to jump more and more on the interview, and how the process, and how should be your mindset, and what all practical tips and you can do when you are in Emertxe, right? So starting with consistent practice. Nothing in the world can replace this word. So if you are doing consistently practice every day coding, then definitely you will have that confidence. Even if your eyes are burning, you just go and take one problem and try to write a logic in pen and paper. Don't ever skip this one until you get a job. So that is how it is. Until you do a consistent practice, you won't get differentiated within yourself. When you do the practice again and again, and when you will get that confident, when you will get that confident that your concepts are good, then only you will feel differentiated from among other people, and you can give interview at your fullest level, right? And second thing, add variations to your problems and assignments. Say for example, there is an assignment for you given, swap two numbers. Now you create one readme or text file in the same directory, and add a variation, like swap two number is your first variation of problem, second variation is swap two numbers without using a temporary variable. come up with different variations. And when you will come back, like you are done with all your course, and when you wanted to attend for an interview or test, now go back and try to solve the second variation. And when you will again go back, try to solve the third variation. So what you are going to achieve with this one? First thing, you're going to understand the problem more clearly. You're going to assess the problem more clearly. And second thing, first time when you are solving the first variation, you are a fresher. Second time, you are much more skilled. Now you need to improvise in your coding. You have to optimize the code, the way you are declaring the variables. You have to optimize it, and applying the concepts. You can apply more different concepts there. So that is how you can improve, right? And third thing, you will not get bored. So usually what happens when you are getting back-to-back interviews, again and again, if you go back and see the same problem, you already know, you have written it, so you won't feel that freshness, right? So definitely when you add more and more variation, you will get more understanding of the problem, and you will feel more confident, right? And balance exploration. Okay, so one more thing, project enhancement, I just skipped that part. So usually whenever you will get a project in Emertxe, so I can divide it in three parts. One thing, you will try to understand what is the requirement, what are the inputs, and what is the expected output, and then you will start coding. You will do some functional coding and all. After that one, whatever you have done functional coding, you will test the same thing. Once that is done, you will tell that project is done. But in industry, where you are telling the project is done, from there your work will start, because any company have already done a lot of projects and a lot of things are running in the market or field, and you need to add a feature or you need to solve some critical bugs, right? So what I suggest is, whenever you are coming, like writing a project, try to understand the project properly, try to come up with the application of that project, and try to make it more configurable, right? And also try to make it as like, you try to add some more enhancement to the same project, like UI or automation or something like that. And with this one, what you will going to achieve, you are going to differentiate yourself among other people, right? So that is more important. And always balance the exploration and coding, and always save your work. So say for example, you come up with a DB related stuff. You want DB, you wanted to explore functionality about the DB for your project. Now you will understand the DB, and when you are understanding, you try to understand as much as possible. And when you are understanding that one, try to do the coding to prove yourself, okay, whatever your understanding is proper or not. Once you done coding, and try to make it as a functional, like a functional, you make it as a different functions, make it as a shared object, write a makefile for that one, and push it to Git, save your work. So whenever in the future you wanted to use this one, when you refer this one, you should be able to take it as it is, or at least you can refer that one, right? So always explore the concepts deeply, but understand by hands-on, okay? And diverse the problem solving skill. Like today, a lot of platforms are available in the market, lead code, HackerRank, HackerEarth, whichever you feel comfortable, you go and try to solve the challenges, even if you wanted to explore more. And effective communication. So when you're in Emertxe or when you're a student in BE, try to do this one. So try to understand the audience. Say for example, after getting into a job, you need to communicate your problem to a manager, you need to communicate your problem to a colleague, or maybe a fresher, or maybe a senior guy. So understand your audience. Say for example, when you're communicating to your manager, you need not to tell I have declared 𝐼𝐽𝐾𝐿 written for loop. No, try to tell in a simple English. But when you're communicating with your colleague or senior, where you need some help, try to go as much as deeper and try to explain him what is the code level problem you're facing. So try to embed this one when you are in Emertxe, the way you communicate, and whenever you are facing the problem, go and tell this is what I'm not understanding, and try to get them clear there only. Because as and when you will start getting the experience, you cannot go and ask, you have to explore and you have to understand on your own. So when you're a fresher, you have that freedom, so just go and ask, and always try to get help from mentors, and try to discuss with friends, because that is what I told. When you're asking a mentor, the way of communication will be different. When you're asking the senior guy, they'll be different. But when you're discussing with friends, the communication has to be different. Okay, so this is what is more important. So what you're preparing is not for an interview. You're preparing for a job, for a career, right? So I just wanted to give you a glimpse what exactly an embedded engineer will do on his daily life. With this one, you can understand what exactly you are preparing for. And also I wanted to tell you to prepare some more things when you are a student. Okay, so as an embedded engineer, definitely he will do a designing, development work, coding, and he will explore a lot of tech, a lot of framework to use it in his existing system. Also, he might need to brush his fundamental concepts. He might need to again go back and check what is a hash map, or what are the different data structures, right? And also he might need to apply them for the efficient solution, and he might need to a complexity analysis, and he might need to come up with his own data structure like circular buffer or something like that, right? So this will be his daily activity. And also I will tell you, memory needs a special attention as an embedded engineer in whichever field you need. So how you're allocating the memory, how you're freeing the memory, and what is the resource consumption, how much memory it is using at the runtime, and how it is performing, everything matters as an embedded engineer. So these are like a basic thing any embedded engineer in the industry is doing today. But apart from that one, what is exactly needed is a validation. So whenever you write any feature, and whenever you will come up with a new design, so always do a proper validation of that one, because the idea is contribute something, but when you're contributing, it should not break entire system. I will give you a couple of examples in my next slides, how efficiently you can work towards that one. And also I will give you example how a small code of yours can entirely break the system. Okay, so I will give you an example. Say I have written a program to a play audio. Okay, so I have written a code and I wanted to test it. So when I played, there are glitches coming. So there can be issue in the code. If I am confident that okay, through some test app or something that my code is working, then there can be issue in the player, or there can be issue in the source itself, or there can be issue in the connector. So this is very important, how quickly you can understand or guess where to hit the hammer, where can be the issue. So that is how an embedded engineer, because he'll be surrounded with a lot of things, not only a code. Okay, so say for example you have an issue with the code, then you should come up and understand more about the debugging tools like GDB, Valgrind. So you should start doing hands-on on these kind of tools when you are a student. Okay, so this is all come under effective troubleshooting. And more important, you need to come up with a lot of testing at different scenarios. You should think through it, and what can happen in this case, what are the combination can happen in your code. Just try to explore on that one. Okay. And one more important thing is maintenance of code. As I told, so you will start implementing a feature, and that will go to field, and when it is in the field, you will start implementing on something else. Now you have to work on both the things. There can be some bugs which you have to address, and there can be some feature which you have to work. So you should understand art of code management using Git. So when you are a student, start using a Git, push your code to Git. You are surrounded with the people, friends. So now it's very good time. You all together try to contribute to one project where you will start facing a lot of conflicts, and with that one you can understand how you can resolve this conflict, and you can understand more about how the Git is working and concepts of it, right? So you try to explore on the code maintenance part also. Not only this one, you try to come up with documents, a small diagrams, whatever. So you try to maintain your work, save your work. That is what I mean. Okay, so not only this one, as an embedded engineer, he will be surrounded with setup issues. He'll be surrounded with a lot of hardware limitations and code compatibility issues. There'll be difference in the framework, and tech is not supporting this one, framework is not supporting this one. You have to come up with something. So always you should have a out of box thinking. You cannot tell hardware is having this limitation and this will not work. You should be able to come up with some kind of a workaround to make it work. right? So ultimately, what I'm trying to derive from here is whenever you are preparing for an interview, no, you're not preparing for the interview, you're preparing for the career. Interview is like one time, but career is going to long last 10 or 15 or maybe more years, right? So this is all about a preparation part. We'll just jump into little bit on a code quest just to be more interactive. Before that one, I just wanted to ask if you have any question or if you want to discuss anything. I just numbered them as I told. So you just let me know. We can go back and we can discuss.
Hi Praveen, there are few questions actually. So one
Yeah.
person is asked the best website to practice C programming and roadmap to crack C programming approach.
Okay, so if you're already part of Emertxe, then assignments are very good things to start. And if you really wanted to explore more on online platform, HackerRank and HackerEarth is very good. Lead Code is also very good.
Okay, and Santosh, you have asked, does it has inbuilt GSM kind of thing? It would be good if you're a little specific about it. And Ismail is asked, for embedded systems role, microcontroller interfacing knowledge is also important along with coding. How to prepare for that?
Okay, so if you're part of Emertxe, already there is a microcontroller program embedded in ESEP product. So microcontroller knowledge will definitely help you because I can tell my own experience. I was part of audio all the time, but in Netradyne there was a critical thing which we have to complete for CAN. Okay, so I have to move to CAN and I have to work. So I never started. As I told, I completed Linux interns and left Emertxe. So that was the first time when I started microcontroller. But I was lucky enough to get good inputs and I was quick enough to understand. So you know, right? CAN EC will work on the microcontroller itself. So in any point of your career, it might not be at the beginning. So in any point of time, you will definitely have to work on microcontroller. So it's better to have. And if you wanted to prepare on microcontroller, then you can take any microcontroller which is available, and you can start writing a smaller programs.
Okay, Praveen, thank you. And Sri Harini's
I did
told
not
page
get the
9 was,
second question.
yeah, hello.
I did not get the second question, Kavya. You mentioned about it.
And she's asking
What was
how
the
to
second question?
prepare for that. How to prepare for this microcontroller interfacing knowledge along with coding.
So you have to take a microcontroller and you have to start writing a small program like LEDs or toggling. So that is how it is. You have to do a hands-on. So you
Okay.
purchase a microcontroller and start coding.
Okay, Praveen. And Sri Harini is told slide number 9 was so useful for her. And and Mahesh has asked the
Obviously.
question.
Huh.
So he's like, sir, can you please tell me how to solve the challenge on platform like Lead Code and Hacker Rank? Can you show demo?
Not now, definitely. So whenever you wanted to solve, I just wanted to cover how you can solve. So that definitely I wanted to cover in my next slide. So that is not a straightforward answer. It is like a process which you have to practice and practice. Then only you can solve those kind of questions. So in Hacker Rank, right, if you solve the first 10 question, you are very good. That is what I understood. Yeah. So
Okay, and Kavya N is asking which is the best website to learn DS?
So website, if you wanted to try hands-on, again, same platforms. If you wanted to understand the concepts and all, there is one course I had, Code with Mosh. That is one speaker. He's very good making you understand core concepts.
Okay, and Varun Raj is asked, can embedded testers switch to development?
Embedded tester can switch from testing to development. Is it a
Yes,
question?
yeah, that is the question.
Yeah, yeah, they can, but they have to put a lot of effort. See, when they are telling embedded testers, right? So
Mhm.
they will be having little bit hands-on on Python. Okay, so for them it will be easy for them to move from tester to Python developer, so they can brush their skill set on Python, and if they practice more, definitely they can move. But only thing is it needs a lot of effort and courage to come out and put an extra effort.
Okay. And here we have one more question. If anyone with zero coding logic, then from where to start coding? I think she's having zero coding logic and she's like, how do I start coding?
So any coding language, right? It will start from declaring a variables. After that, how qualifiers, and after that, how the control logic will work. After that, different concepts. So you take any one language and you try to understand from that basic. And whenever you understand any small thing, say for example, integer will have 4 bytes. So try to solve the problem and try to re-understand. Means you try to confirm that one. It will have the 4 byte. How you will understand? Try to print with size of, right? So you have to start from the basic, and you have to do hands-on lot of to understand more thoroughly about each and every concept. At least you have to come till pointer file operations. I'm just comparing with the C. So yeah, that is how it is. You have to do a lot of hands-on.
Okay, Praveen, that's it. And you can carry on, Praveen. And if there are more questions, I'll interrupt you again and ask you the question.
Okay, Kavya. Yeah.
Thank you.
So just to be more interactive, I will just ask you a few more questions in my next slides. So feel free, even if you're wrong, that is fine. So this is a small function which I have written. Okay. So what it is doing is it is just incrementing and printing the number, whichever number is sent to it. Okay. So my first question to you guys is, why it is made as a thread? Why not a function? So it's a very small function, right? And it is taking a variable and it is incrementing and printing. So anybody can tell why I need to make it as a thread? Kavya, you are getting any responses?
No, so Praveen, and someone has asked the other question. Can you tell me good platform to learn GitHub? Apart from that, no response. Guys, come on, answer it. Or if you don't know, you can tell us. He's there to explain you guys.
Okay, so about GitHub, I will just explain. Like GitHub
Okay.
itself is having a very good README. You can just go to their platform, and if you read that one, that is good enough to start. But for you to do hands-on, just start with in your laptop. Try to write one program and do Git in it, and try to commit it. So you can do more hands-on. With that one, you will get a lot of online platform source to understand more and more. Yeah, so coming back to this program, so here I'm making it as a thread, and I am calling two threads, one after the other. So if you see, one thread is, so first question I asked, right, why I have to make it as a thread. So whenever I don't want my execution to block, I can make it as a thread. So whenever I need a concurrent execution, so that is where I make it as a thread. Now, if you see, there is a problem in this actual function. Can anybody figure out what is the problem with this function? So that is very simple, guys. Maybe you can ping. That is on the first line itself. So it is int star, right? So whenever you are dereferencing, so you are not, you have to specify. So that is one problem, right?
I think they're very
Is there
shy
any
to
other?
answer the question.
Okay, so all right, I just carry on. So that is one problem, definitely, but there is another bigger problem here. So whatever problem just we solved with the second snippet, right? So that you will catch it in comparison itself. But much more bigger problem is declaring a static. So static, what it will do? It is a shared variable where it will be stored, right? So it will be shared variable. With this one, what it will do, with each function it will use the same variable. If you increment that one, that is going to be persistent across the function calls. So your expectation is like, I am sending one address here 10, and my expectation is it should print 11. But when I first time call it, it will print me 11. But when I next time call it, that will print me 13, right? So that is not an expectation. So basically these kind of problems are the one which are going to cause a lot of trouble when you will understand and when you will face the issues. To debug these kind of issues is going to be more difficult. Say for example, you are declaring this static purposefully, then you should be in a position to synchronize it properly. So that is a problem here. So there are two problems basically. One is compilation error, which you will catch it very easily, and there is one logical error. So logical errors are much more difficult to catch. That is what I wanted to tell you. So I just wanted to give some more examples. So what is the problem with this snippet of code? Anybody? Guys, it's very simple. So I am not initializing a sum here, integer sum, right? If sum is not initialized, it is going to be with the garbage values. So definitely this problem is going to behave weirdly, right? So what about this one? Okay, so this is dereferencing of a null pointer. So here also you will not get any compilation. You will get a compilation here. This is still better, but about the third one, right? I just wanted to explain more here. If anybody can catch what is the problem with this one, I'll be very happy.
Guys, you can type the answers and ping us like how you send the questions.
Okay, so basically there are three problems here. One problem is whenever you are allocating a memory, malloc, so you need to check it. So if you're not checking and you're allocating memory, that is a bigger problem. Second thing, logical error. So something like allocating memory, keeping it in a while one loop itself is a design issue. We should not do that one. And third, the worst problem is you're not freeing up the memory. So you're continuously allocating the memory. So if you if you compile this program, you won't get any compilation error. When you will run the program, the program will also run. And after some time, it will come not a crash out of memory. So this one case, right, it is going to crash your entire system because it is an out of memory case. So this is one very good example how your small code can entirely crash the system, right? So this is all about a little bit on code snippet. I just thought of making it a little bit interactive. So I just wanted to cover one concept and wanted to give you the people asked, right, how you should learn the concept and all. With this one concept, right, I just wanted to tell you how you can prepare on any simple to simple thing to any complex level like a function pointer. So function pointer, what it will do? Anybody? So pointer, what it will do? It will try to save the address of a variable, right? So function pointer will try to save the address of function. So simple. So it will try to save the address of the function. And if you want to invoke that one, you just need to call that function address, function pointer. Okay. So now function is the function pointer here. You can see the syntax, how it is looking. So it is trying to take the integer number. So that is the expectation. So whichever function which will take an integer number, you can call directly. What are the application of function pointers? One thing, you can make it as a callback function. Say for example, you are moving in your program and you want something to be called from the different like previous layer. So you can make it as a callback function. And event handling, say asynchronously some event is hitting your program and you wanted to catch that one and wanted to do some programming. So you can do that one using function pointer. And maybe like standard your design. Say for example, I have some 4 plugin and say A, B, C, D, and all are A underscore init, B underscore init, C underscore init, all have different functions, and either of one will execute at any point of time. So in my application, I will have only one init, which is a function pointer, and whenever I will start the program, either of this B underscore init or C underscore init or A underscore init is going to initiate with this address. So whenever I will call init from the application, the expected init will get called. So I just wanted to standardize my design. So in that kind of situation, I can opt for function pointer, right? So let's say I have a few developers in my team and one developer have written this code. So he's having a function where it is taking a float type and he's just calling a function pointer. he just don't know a little bit about the function pointer, and he's just using this one. So what you can expect from this code? Do you feel any compilation error you will get from this one? So I will tell the answer. So no, you will not get any compilation error. But at execution, what it will happen? The float is going to typecast as int, and you will get an integer number to be printed. But say for example, you have float value like 5.3, and your expectation is 5.3 will print. No, it is not going to print. Whether it is going to cause you any compilation error? No. Whether it is going to cause you any runtime error? No. This is a logical error completely. You, as a programmer, you should understand what is the syntax, and you should code accordingly, right? So this is still fine. What about this one? So this programmer have written a function, and that function is taking a string character array, and he's initiating function pointer with this function. What your program will happen? Like if you compile, whether you will get any compilation error? No, you will not get any compilation error. So what you understood from here is a function pointer will not check anything. It will simply take the address, and whenever you will invoke, you will simply call it. So when you will run this runtime, you will get a crash, right? So now this is a problem. Now if you understand clearly, this is a function pointer is a concept. Now first try to understand the concept, then try to learn the syntax in whichever programming you wanted to do, like Python or C or CPP, whatever. Then do hands-on to understand more about that concept, whether whatever you understood is right or wrong, right? Then derive the application. You have a callback function, I told, event handling. Try to come up with those kind of application, and try to do the application coding. Like say for example, event handling or callback function you wanted to do that coding, and try to get hands-on, get that confident. Once you understand everything, try to understand more thoroughly, is there any limitation with this concept, or is there any limitations around this one, and try to solve that limitation. So what I mean is, to address this problem also, there is a solution. Now I just want you guys to go and explore more. Definitely you can get the solution online, but try to explore more on your own and try to come up with a solution. Okay, so you have any questions so far?
No, Praveen, there are no questions as of now.
All right. Okay, so some people asked, right? So how we can go in HackerRank and how we can solve the problem and all. So this is a slide I was referring to. So cracking a C program. So in the interview, whenever interview will ask, just before that one, I just will cover this slide, which is the interview process. So in the interview, there will be usually 4 rounds. One is screening, where a written and computer-based test will be taken. So purely this round is to screen out, means there are like 100 or 200 people. They can interview very few people, right? So they just wanted to pick few people, and what is the kind of how it will be. There will be like code snippets, the way I showed, right? So here what interview want to do is how quickly any guy will understand the problem. Okay, so when you will get an assignment or any problem statement, you already understood the problem. But when you will start working in any company, first you have to understand the problem. Means you have to figure out the problem. That is called debugging. Okay, so usually people will tell debugging might take 1 week, but solving that problem might take hours, 2 hours, or maybe half day. So that is what an interviewer will try to check in the screening, how quickly you can understand a problem in snippet of code. So what are the sources for that one? Your tests are also Geeks for Geeks, or maybe you can understand or see more of different people code. So how quickly you can understand the logic, what they have written and what they are trying to do. So this is how it will be, first round. Then come to the second round. In the second round, what programmer is trying to derive from you is how well you understand about the basic concepts, and how confident you are, how is your problem solving approach, and how well you know about all the concepts. Okay, so it starts from operators. It will start from very basic to basic, operators and strings, arrays, till pointers, whatever it will come, everything can be asked as a question. But which are our favorites? Usually operators bitwise and strings, because you can come up with a lot of questions. Even in the solution also, there will be a lot of variations you can expect So that's why strings mostly, and pointer related, even arrays related. So these will be the questions mostly which will be asked in the round 2. And what are the sources for you? Assignments and projects. So you try to just go through them. As I told, try to solve the variations, and also if possible try to solve different online platforms. Okay, so there will be a round 3. Here a interviewer actually try to assess you how well your problem solving capabilities, right? So how well you can understand the pointers, and how you can apply that concept to solve the problem, how you can synchronize if there is a problem, how well you can apply the data structures, file operations, and also it includes all the basics also. Okay, so what are the sources? Again, as I told, assignments, projects, hacker rank, lead code, and consistent practice. Okay, so there can be round 4 also. It differs from company to company, but usually these are the rounds, and there will be one more round which is a round 4, which is non-technical. So I wanted to tell you, usually people will think technical if it is done, then non-technical is going to be cracked, but it is not the case. Because in non-technical, actually people will see how is your communication, how is your attitude, how well you can fit into organization. Just think about it, right? So any company don't wanted to hire a guy who will come and he will do coding and he will go home. You want a guy who can understand the problem, tell people, collaborate with people, right? Who should be a team player, right? So he needs somebody who is like a team contributor, right? So all these aspects will be seen, how well you can fit in the organization. So I have seen in the cases where we used to understand like whether he can fit into organization or not. So those kind of things, and there can be some attitude problem or communication, how well he is. So all those things will be seen in the round 4. So definitely don't ignore the round 4. What I wanted to tell is these are the skills which you can improvise when you are a student. Okay, so coming back to my this slide, say for example interviewer will give you one question on program, how you should crack that one, right? So understand the problem. First, identify the inputs. What are the combination of inputs? What is the problem statement? What is the expected output? Try to come up with all the variation of inputs. Once you understand the problem, try to convey that to an interviewer and get confirmation whatever you understood is right or wrong, right? Once you understood the problem properly, then go for designing the logic first. Okay, choose the relevant concepts, use flow chart, write down in pen and paper what you understood and how you can solve the problem. Okay, and try to dry run with the different combination of outputs, inputs. Okay, so once you feel like this is somewhere will fit and I am ready to code, then only start coding. Okay, write down the code, do a memory management. When you are declaring a int, you just think int is 4 bytes. Okay, you are trying to consume 4 bytes of the memory, and do error handling properly. Try to dry run the cases, like try to take one very valid input, invalid input, right, and negative inputs, right? So try to dry run your code. If possible, try to optimize it, try to reduce the variables, or try to come up with lesser for loops, right? So try to do the optimization. And when you are doing all these things, try to maintain the readability. Okay, declare the variables properly, and try to add comment if it is required, and try to have the modularity and scalability. Okay, so once you're done with all these things, then go and explain the solution. So tell what you understood, have you tried to solve the problem, what you understood with this inputs, what is going to happen. Try to explain him as much as possible, and include the example with the different combination of inputs. So usually what I have seen in my experience, whenever there will be question given, so people will understand little bit about the problem, and as soon as they understand, get some logic, they will start explaining and they will start writing the code. So parallelly they wanted to do both of them. So I just wanted to tell, don't try to do that one. Try to follow this process. When try to start with a simple program and embed this process. And when you will start evolving with the difficulties, difficult and complex problem. So eventually, even for this slide, when I was preparing, right, I did not started with a laptop. I started with pen and paper. How should my slides look like? How should my flow should go like? right? So you should try to enhance your process on your own, right? So this is all about how you should crack the C program. So you will get used to it once you start it. Okay, so now say for example you have done very well and you got opportunity and you cracked the screening test also. Now in next 1 week you have an interview for you. So how you should be your mindset and what you need to prepare. So this is what this slide is going to cover now. So first thing, whenever you are doing programming, try to divide entire concepts into different segments. So say for example, I have divided here like basics and bitwise, pointers, files, data structure, synchronization, communication. This is what I have divided. This is just an example. So you can divide on your own and try to solve at least one program before intro, like 1 week before I'm telling how you should prepare. Okay, try to solve at least one program in each sector. Okay, so with this one, what you are going to achieve, you will get a lot of confidence. Second thing, usually in interview, what will happen is they will ask you one question, and when you will be explaining, you will take another. Say for example, I am asking inline function how it will work. In the meantime, you will tell about the function. Now we'll start asking you about more about the function. What is the recurring function? So that is how the interview will try to gauge how much you understand about the concepts and all. So doing this thing right, it will give you a lot of confidence and a lot of understanding, and you can go and perform very well in the interview. Second thing, resume preparation. So when you are preparing the resume, be truthful, avoid copy pasting, and keep a clear language, and put what you know and prepare on your own. I don't mean like prepare on your own means try to come up with this template and all. There are many templates available today online, but when you are writing down, just write down with your hands what you're writing. For example, you are writing a GDB. So when you are writing a GDB, so you should first understand whether you understand the GDB or not. You are able to apply that one. If you're not, go and study that. If you don't put it. So there will be one self-assessment cycle will go on if you try to prepare resume on your own. Okay, so this is very important. That is what I told. Understanding about yourself and asking the right question and facing problems. These are a very good things to have always. Okay, and frankness. Don't hesitate to tell I don't know. See, even if you ask me many things, right, I might not know a lot of things, but you should tell, you should express your interest to learn and commit to study, right? So this is what all I feel with my experience, what I could give you. So basically, as an interview, what he will try to see in you is one thing, logic, and what is the approach you are taking, how good you are assessing the problem, trying to solve the problem, okay, and how well you are coding, how well you can apply the concepts, and how well you can communicate, and your attitude and team spirit. These are the skills as an interview will see. Okay, so this is what all I got. This is going to be my last slide. So this is just like a summary, whatever we got, and key takeaways. So first thing, as I told, Emertxe curriculum. Try to do the assignments daily, consistent practice, take a variations, and when you're doing a project, try to come up with something new, try to enhance that project for an application, right? So always try to improve your skills and practice, explore more, try to embed your problem solving skills. As I told, come up with your own process when you're solving a program, and key focus areas. So whenever you feel like you're not confident, say for example you're already understanding a data structure and somewhere you feel like pointers you are not so much confident, go back and discuss with your mentor or whoever can help. Try to discuss with them and try to get that concept clear. Okay, so interview preparation, start it, do a lot of mock interviews, try to solve a lot of tests, and try to solve a lot of programs, try to explore online platform. So I will tell you, exploring the online platform will come when you have done all the basics covered. Okay, so when you're good enough to go and solve real challenges. Okay, so try to do a continuous learning, even today also, right? If I want to learn something, I should be ready, have that mindset always. And career is going to be a new journey, and when you get a good job, try to apply the skills, right? Try to maintain your attitude, try to learn the tech, right? So you try to understand what is happening in that system, how end-to-end flow is working, and what is the contribution your team is going to do for that one. Okay, and try to embed the professionalism, come at a very sharp time, be disciplined, accountable for whatever you are doing, right? So all these things are going to help you. And finally, my sincere thank you for 𝐏𝐫𝐸𝐧𝐠 Technologies and Abhilash Satyanarayan, who was my buddy throughout my career, and to prepare these slides, Vinuta from Netradine, who helped me a lot to get more insights about what freshers can feel and what can be the key takeaways and all. So this is what all I got, and if you have any questions, we are good. We can discuss them.
Thank you, Praveen, for presenting your journey, the key learnings, everything. Guys, do you have any questions? And we would like to hear from you. How was this webinar?
So I also wanted to hear from you guys. So
Okay, they are telling it was very useful. You motivated us, sir. Nice.
So I feel motivation kills actually. So before motivational, always have a rational thinking. Think about it, ask right questions, come up with a solution. Then motivation will help. So yeah, thank you so
Okay.
much.
And someone has told you're very inspiring, sir. Thank you for the webinar. And you also told us how to approach the problem, how to present ourselves in the final round of the interview. Thank you, sir. So there are no questions, Praveen. They're all motivated through your webinar. They're all telling they're motivated. You're inspiring, sir.
Sure, Kavya. Thank you so much. Finally, thank you, Kavya and crew, 𝐏𝐫𝐸𝐧𝐠 Technologies, and also 𝐿 sir for this opportunity, Mobin sir for that mentorship, and Mas for that discussion. So I really thank you. And I guess I'll be in LinkedIn if anybody have any doubts or anything to discuss. Definitely, I'm open. I guess I'm
Sure,
good here,
Praveen.
right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll make
From my
myself as the presenter so that I'll announce the quiz.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Praveen. I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, Kavya, it is visible.
Okay. Thank you, Praveen. Um, So guys, this is all you guys were waiting for, the quiz. Again, the quiz is based on whatever our speaker presented for the day. Please note down the quiz code, and I'll pause for 2 minutes. You guys can note down the quiz code, and the Google form link our team member will be sharing you. Just a minute. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah. So the Google form link, my team will be mailing you all the attendees, whosoever attended today. And people also take a screenshot and scan this QR code, join our Telegram cult. So this is the ticket for this masterclass webinar. We are presenting ticket for every masterclass webinar. And towards the end of the season, the person who has the maximum ticket, that means he's attended all the webinars. Again, we have a tracking system in place. We will check all the attendees, like how many webinars you have attended. We will check if you are genuinely having all the tickets, and if you have attended the webinar, we have a special goodie because he's been putting consistent effort in attending webinars, improving his knowledge. So we would like to appreciate that person. So I will pause for 2 seconds. You guys can scan the QR code and join our Telegram channel, masterclass community, and we'll also be posting our upcoming masterclass webinars in this, so that again you can register and take part in this upcoming masterclass webinar. And this is our social media handles. Again, I'll pause for 2 seconds. You people can scan the QR code, follow our Instagram, and follow us on LinkedIn. Stay connected with us on LinkedIn for all the updates from Emertxe. And we will be hosting another masterclass webinar for WebStack from WebStack Academy, which is the sister concern of Emertxe, on 3rd of Feb. So you guys can also join that as well. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for joining on Saturday evening. Our group, our team will be mailing you all the list shortly, the form, Google form. And thank you, Praveen, once again from Team Emertxe. And I would also like tell Mubin sir, Master, and Jai sir that you spoke about them as well. Thank you once again for joining, Praveen, and inspiring all of us here.
Sure, thank you. Thank you all for attending. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you guys. Bye bye. Have a great weekend.